Hey guys, I'm just heading off to go and have a chat with my friend Ant on Zoom, but I thought I'd have a chat with you about how I got my home in Barcelona for cash, and it is 9 minutes from the beach. This is the beach that I come down to pretty much most days. Well, it wasn't overnight. I'd love to tell you it was, but it wasn't. Of course, these things take time. I've been investing in property since 2009. And I lived in Barcelona when I was young, and I've lived in France, and I love languages, and I've just always had a dream to live beside the beach. I've always had a dream to live in Barcelona, and it's always been on my vision board, and it's always been a part of my business plan. So I guess clue number one is define what you want, and it's always been part of my business plan. And my business plan is written in my wardrobe. It's a printed piece of paper, and every single day when I open my wardrobe I see that business plan, and so I've got like the kind of day-to-day, this is what I need to be delivering, but more importantly I've got the what do I want the life to look like. And one of the things was, let's get an apartment in Barcelona, and obviously I want it mortgage free, don't I? Because I don't want to, I don't feel that's luxury. So number one, define it. Number two, I started off buying properties in 2009. I pulled out a little bit of cash from my personal portfolio, personal mortgage, and then started buying properties. But that meant that I was super skint. No, I had lots of assets, which was wonderful. Here we go, Barcelona. But I didn't have much cash, so I certainly wasn't anywhere near it in the early days. Then I did deal packaging, which is finding discounted deals, sourcing them onto investors, selling them for a fee, and pulling the cash into your business. And then that allowed me to buy more properties. I then migrated and moved on to flipping, while still deal packaging, by the way, guys. And that meant that I was bringing more chunks of cash in. So I was buying more properties for myself, which was great. So in the early days I was very much about the delayed gratification. This goal of having a flat in Barcelona was a dream, but not one that was going to be realized early on, because property is very much a delayed gratification, and suddenly it all comes true and you're like pinching myself. So I did that for a number of years. I also joint ventured quite frequently, where the investor would put the money in, we would do all the work, we split the profit 50-50. I again ploughed it back into my properties. And then it came a turning point where I'd been pushing my loan to value down, because I also, as well as buying new properties, I'm a big believer in paying down properties. We're just going to cross the road in just a moment, guys. And so I wasn't up for having kind of high loan to value. I personally think that's quite, try not to get run down in Barcelona, I think that's quite foolish in the long run. So I was pushing down that loan to value as fast as possible, and I was starting to pay off houses. So still delayed gratification in terms of me living beside the beach, which you can tell I now do. So I had a number of houses that were fully paid off, and it was pushing down my loan to value. And then I started looking at my current portfolio and going, what else can I do? So the first step was, I had some houses with big gardens, so I got planning permission in the gardens to put other houses. But instead of building them out myself, because at that point, I quite frankly have enough houses, I got enough income coming in to live for the rest of my life. And there comes a point when you move from I'm buying to I'm actually really happy with the value of what I've got. It's a really easy to manage property portfolio. I'm now going to be moving into the real cash generating. So I split the houses, split the title, got the planning, sold them off. So that was happening. Excuse me, we're just going over some motorway. There's the road beside the beach. And then what happened? So then I was starting to have, serious levels of cash in the bank account. But I kind of still had this plan, but I was so ingrained in the idea of short-term, not pain, but delayed gratification. I'd really been like sort of a servant to the idea of building up a property portfolio, rather than saying, hey, give me the fancy Rolex and give me the fancy Aston Martin. And I think some of that, and maybe you can relate to this, some of that is because I saw so many kind of what you might call big people in property come out with their fancy cars and their fancy watches and their fancy suits. They were often guys, not always, yeah, no, but then flop, unfortunately, go bust, unfortunately, for them and for everybody involved. So I didn't really want to kind of pull out the big gun fancy pants stuff early on, because I almost associated that with possible failure, and one of the things I didn't want to do was put all this work in and then for it not to work. So we have buying properties, deal packaging, joint venture flipping solo, splitting houses, garden houses in land, and then selling off the land but keeping the house. And then also I'm paying down my houses and paying off some houses. And then last year it was my birthday. Now my son also lives in Barcelona, and I'm very fond of him, obviously. We'd had a lovely weekend. My birthday happened to be on a Monday, and I hadn't got the plan, like it was written in my business plan that in the long run I would definitely own property in Barcelona, but I hadn't actually said to myself I'm definitely going to do it now. But I woke up on the Monday, he went back to work, so it was actually my technical birthday on the Monday, and I kind of hadn't arranged anything to do that day because we'd had such a lovely weekend together with my son. So I just woke up and went, that's it, I'm buying myself an apartment in Barcelona, I'm just going to make this happen. Sort of kidding to myself, thinking I'll have a nice noodle round estate agents. You know, it'll be fun. It'll just be fun. Like, let's go and have a look. And my son had told me about this place called Poblenou in Barcelona, which is really near the beach. It's really lovely. It's quite quiet and calm. It's a bit like kind of some of the parts of Brooklyn, in that it's up and coming, you know, the area's changing, it's quite artistic. So I just noodled on down here, went to first estate agent, they weren't really interested in me, went to a second estate agent, he said his name was Marco, I've got exactly what you're looking for, because I wanted obviously a period house with a couple of bedrooms, balconies, front and back, and I wanted a roof terrace. And I was thinking, oh yeah, really? You're a bit slick, really? So I went along with him, and he said, I don't know if it's not on the market yet. Oh yeah, I was thinking, really? It's not on the market yet. Okay, and I'm trying to phone them, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them. Okay, I thought, the great property investor. Walked along with him, stood outside of this 1920s apartment with beautiful Art Deco design in the building. It's the top floor apartment, so it's straight up to the roof terrace, there's no noise, and just fell in love. And basically in my mind I was like, that's it. And luckily he phoned them, they were in, they let me in, Leandro and Nuri, and that's it. I mean, within an hour I put an offer in and I bought it. Now, I bought it cash. I did not buy it with mortgages because I had put in all that, what you might term delayed gratification work, for so long that after that I was able to buy it for cash. Don't have any intention of ever having a mortgage on it. And as you can tell, because I'm walking back there now, it is 9 minutes from the beach. So if you are having a bit of a, not tough time, but if you're finding it tricky, it's hard, you're grinding, you don't feel you're getting somewhere, oh my goodness, I had so many of those days. Keep going, guys, because dreams definitely come true in property. Lots of love. Bye. If what we've put out for you guys really works for you, then fabulous. Support our channel, click the like button, and thank you so much.